Hello and welcome to the Fun Casino, the channel created to help you beat online casinos and bookmakers. If you're interested in making money from online casinos and bookmakers, then be sure to subscribe to the channel and check out our website. This video is part 2 to our basic blackjack strategy for beginners. In this video we're going to talk about how to play soft hands and pairs. These hands present huge amounts of opportunity, and it's very important to learn how to play them effectively. Let's start by looking at how to play soft hands. Now, most casinos allow you to double on hands other than just 9, 10 and 11. If given the option, we want to get more money on the table with our soft hands, especially when the dealer has a weak card. Some of the decisions might make you feel uncomfortable, and the thought of doubling down on the likes of a soft 15 might be something that you have never considered before. If your risk tolerance is low with these types of hands, then continue to hit them, but be aware you are letting good opportunities to make money pass you by. Here are some of the general blackjack strategy rules when playing soft hands. When the dealer has a 5 or a 6, we want to double every hand lower than a 17. If we aren't able to double, then hitting is the next best option. With a score of 18, we also want to double. If this is not an option, we should stand. It is a profitable decision to double when the dealer has a 6 and we have a score of 19. 99% of players would cringe at the thought of doing this, and this is why 99% of players will continue to lose money playing blackjack. 5 out of 13 cards give you a score of 19 or higher, which is a good score. There are 2 more cards that will give us a score of 17 or higher. This puts the hand at a 53% probability of having a made hand. If we add into the fact that we can expect the dealer to go bust 42% of the time, meaning we win no matter the total score of our hand, this is an opportunity missed by the majority of players to double their winnings. Table etiquette and social acceptance is probably the biggest reason why many players disregard this double down opportunity. If you turn your soft 19 into a 15 and then watch the dealer make 21, you're going to feel a little silly. The other players on the table might give you a hard time. But don't worry, you can be at peace knowing that statistically speaking you made the right move. If the dealer is showing a 4, we need to be slightly more cautious. We no longer want to double our soft 13s or 14s, and just hitting is the optimal strategy. When the dealer is showing a 3, the bust out rate for the dealer has decreased to just 37.5%. Put the brakes on and just hit our soft 15s and 16s. Doubling soft 17 is still a smart move. With a player score of soft 17, you should always be taking another card. You can't go bust, and 17 really isn't a good hand. Consider this. A score of 16 is regarded as the worst hand in blackjack. You will win exactly the same amount of hands with a score of 17. The only difference is you now push when the dealer scores a 17. With soft 17, you're given the opportunity to take a risk-free card. Take it. A player score of soft 18. Very few players make the most of this hand. Don't be scared to double down if the dealer is showing a 6 or lower. This is a good opportunity to get more money on the table whilst the dealer has a weak hand. If you don't want to double, just stand. If you have a soft 19 or 20, you're unlikely to improve these hands. Other than a soft 19 against the dealer's 6, just be thankful for a good hand and stand. Now let's take a look at blackjack paired hands. A lot of new players, when they see a paired hand, will split regardless of basic strategy. We appreciate it's good fun, but it's not smart for the bankroll. Let's take a look at what you should do for each pair. If you receive a pair of 2s or 3s, when the dealer has a weak card, that's a 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6, take this opportunity to make 2 hands. Unless your hand turns into a 12 or 13, which is a 30% chance of that happening, you're in a good spot to make a relatively strong hand. If you are unlucky enough to receive a 12 or 13, basic blackjack strategy dictate not to put yourself at risk of going bust if the dealer has a 4, 5 or 6. The probability of going from 2 to 12 to 22 is only around 9%. Don't be afraid to split your 3s and 2s when the dealer looks weak. Receiving a pair of 4s. Now there are cases to be made that you can split 4s when the dealer's up card is a 5 or 6. We understand the thinking behind this, and it's not a completely stupid move to make. Depending on the cards you receive, you can easily end up putting yourself into a sticky situation. We recommend hitting your 4s against all of the dealer's cards. 8 is a good score and you're in a strong position. A pair of 5s. Don't think of this hand as a pair of 5s. Look at it as a hand value of 10. 10 is a brilliant hand and you can maximise profits by doubling against all dealer cards with the exception of 10s and aces. If you're splitting 5s, you might want to reconsider if blackjack is the game for you. A pair of 6s. You should play these with the same strategy as your pair of 2s and 3s. Split them up when the dealer has a weak card. If the dealer has a card 7 or higher, then just take another card. After splitting them up, if you're lucky enough to receive a hand total of 10 or 11, make sure you maximise profits again by doubling down. With a pair of 7s, you should split when the dealer shows a weak card. We should also split when the dealer has a 7. There's a couple of reasons for this. Optimal strategy suggests that we need to take a card with a score of 14 against a 7. Taking a card with a score of 14 means that we will go bust 46.2% of the time. If we can avoid this situation by splitting our hand, then we should do it. Then why don't we split against 8s, 9s, 10s and aces, you're probably asking. That's because if we turn our 7s into 2 17s, we are likely to lose twice. A pair of 8s. This is where it gets interesting. This hand has been argued over since the inception of blackjack. There are good cases to be made for lots of different theories on how to play a pair of 8s. As you can see in the infographic, we advise splitting 8s every single time. Please note, only split 8 against a 10 or an ace if the dealer has already checked and confirmed they do not have blackjack. The last thing you want to do is put extra money on the table only to watch the dealer pull blackjack and lose twice as much. The reason behind splitting 8 is relatively simple. 16 is the worst hand you can have. The probability of going bust is 61.6%. Splitting 8s gives you the opportunity to get away from a score of 16, and we should take it. If the dealer has a weak card, it's a great opportunity to get more money on the table. If the dealer has a 7 or higher, rather than go bust 6 out of 10 times, we could find ourselves with a much more attractive hand. There will be times when you split a pair of 8s and lose both hands. Mathematically speaking, this will happen less often than winning one or even both hands. If the thought of splitting 8 against a strong card like a 9, 10 or ace makes you uneasy, then just do what makes you comfortable. But you should know that in the long run, splitting will reduce your losses. Notice that I suggest reducing losses rather than winning money in this situation. If you are dealt a pair of 8s against a 9, 10 or ace, you are favourite to lose your money no matter the option you take. With a pair of 9s, split against all weak cards to maximise profits. This means you've got a score of 18. You are favourite to beat the dealer's 7 but not much else. With this in mind, stand against the 7 but split against the dealer's 8 or 9. Hopefully, at least one of your hands can make a score better than the original score of 18. Against a 10 or an ace, unfortunately, the casino is a slight favourite, but you have more chance of winning with an 18 than you did with 16, so you can leave them alone and stand. If you're lucky enough to be dealt a pair of 10s, then stand. It's that simple. The cardinal sin of blackjack is to get greedy and split your 10s. If playing in a live casino with other players, you'll quickly lose a lot of friends by splitting this hand. 20 is a difficult hand to beat. If you split your hand into 2, you're asking for trouble. Just be thankful for the good hand and leave it alone. If you're dealt a pair of aces, your eyes should light up. Reach for your chips and split them up. Without splitting them up, your hand total is 2, 12 or 22. Not really, but you get the point. They're all pretty bad hands. Your chances of making a strong hand are very high, and you have a 30% chance on each hand to make the unbeatable score of 21. Casinos know that aces are extremely profitable to split. For that reason, the majority have implemented a rule: when splitting aces, you receive only one card and have no option to hit or double after. Even with the casino stopping us from taking any further action when splitting aces, it is still a profitable move to split aces all of the time. Don't expect to win every hand all of the time by following Blackjack Strategy. You can be confident that mathematically speaking, these decisions are best for your chip stack. We recommend using basic Blackjack Strategy to turn casino bonus money into withdrawable cash. For more information on how you can do this, visit the website thefuncasino.co.uk or check out the links in the description for more details. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.